Hey everyone, what is up? Ryan here, excited to be talking to you. In my previous video, I talked about how you can explode your income. If you have not watched it, I'll be putting a link below, so make sure you check it out. Today's topic will be about retirement. I want to show you what it takes for you to retire in the next 5 years. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be easy, and especially so if you are starting from scratch. But regardless, today's video is going to be extremely relevant. Because for retirement planning, the earlier you start, the easier it is. So make sure you stay till the end of the video because your future self is going to be thankful to you for that. And as always, I would really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up as it is helpful for the YouTube algorithm and I really appreciate that. Alright, let's get started. For many of you watching, I believe retirement is something really relevant for you. Work can be really mentally exhausting, and there's really no shame in wanting to retire from your job as early as possible and say bye-bye to your full-time job. Personally, I can't imagine myself working in a full-time job for any longer than the next 5 years. So today's topic is really about how I have planned for myself to retire in the next 5 years, and I want to share this plan together with you as well. Because by sharing with you this plan, I hope it gives you a better understanding of how you can get started on your retirement planning as well. You'll see that in my plan, I use a retirement calculator in an Excel format. Fret not if you're not good with numbers, because in the description below, you get to download a copy of the retirement calculator that I use. Alright, so now let's move on to my retirement plan. For me, I require a minimum of $3,000 a month for my monthly expenses. This is to cover my monthly expenses, which includes my necessities, my leisure activities, and providing for my loved ones. So for me to retire, I require at least $3,000 from my investments so that I can say bye-bye to my full-time job. So over here in the retirement calculator, I will show you what I need to generate the $36,000 every year. In this calculator, I've made it extremely easy for you. All you need to do is to fill up 3 numbers. The first is the starting amount. This is the amount of money you can put into your savings and investment account to get it to start snowballing. Make sure this is money you will need even in times of emergency. Ideally, we want this money to be invested for as long as possible to prevent any unnecessary withdrawals or transaction fees. Number 2, monthly investment. This refers to how much savings you can then put into your investment account every month. For example, if you make an income of $3,000 every month and you spend $1,500 every month, you can potentially put between $1,000 to $1,500 into your investment account every month. Number 3, annual returns. This refers to how much return your investment gives you every year. Depending on what you're investing, this number can vary very drastically. For starters, I believe you should aim for no less than 6 to 8% because this is actually a very reasonable rate of return given historical stock market return. So here are my numbers. I'll start off with $150,000 with a $3,000 monthly investment at a rate of return of 10% annually. For me, I have a combination of stocks and alternative investment. For my alternative investment, it is slightly risky with a higher return, and hence this is how I've derived my 10% return. If you are a beginner, please aim for at least 6 to 8% as that is quite a reasonable rate of return for investments. As you can see over here, in the 5th year, I have around $42,000 of returns from my investments, and this would comfortably cover my retirement needs. And of course, in this plan, many things can go wrong. I may lose my job, and I may not be able to contribute $3,000 every month into this investment account. Or, my investments may not generate me 10% consistently every year. But I'm not worried, because I believe when you retire, your income does not necessarily drop to 0. To me, I believe retirement doesn't mean sleeping at home all day long. It simply means you need not work for money anymore and you can start to pursue some of your passion projects. And passion projects usually generate an income as well. Examples could be teaching something you love, freelancing your passion, starting a business, writing a blog, and all these can help generate an income for you. So for me, I'm not worried at all. In fact, it is my belief that I think my retirement income will be more than what this retirement calculator has shown. So that's my plan. To be honest, I know my plan has nothing to do with you at all. But I hope by sharing with you my plan, it will help to kickstart your retirement planning as well. And as I've mentioned like a broken record over and over again, retirement planning is all about starting early. The earlier you start, the easier it is. By simply planning and taking action, you are already way more advanced than maybe 70 to 80% of the people out there who do not do any form of financial planning whatsoever. So make sure you get started today. Your future self will thank you for it. To make it even easier for you, I want to share with you my recommendation on how you can get started. First, you have to decide how much you can put aside from your monthly income into your investment account. Split your income into expenses, savings, investments. Expenses will be your necessity like food, transport, entertainment, mortgage, insurance, etc. Basically things that you need to maintain your basic lifestyle. Savings will be for your bigger ticket items like your holiday, your car down payment, your gadgets, your furniture. It also serves as an emergency fund for you in case you lose your income or your full-time job. Investment will be what you put into your investment account every month, and ideally this is money you will not need even in times of emergency. If you have watched my previous video, you will know that I view all my money as small little soldiers. I send them out into the battlefield to capture more soldiers and bring them back into my empire. So for me, I like to send out as many soldiers as I can. So I tend to live below my means so that I can send out as many soldiers as I can out into the battlefield. The second thing you need is to learn how to invest. There are countless ways to invest, and it is actually pretty much up to your preference. If you are a complete beginner and do not know where to begin, my recommendation for you is to start dollar cost average into a low cost index fund. Basically, this means buying into a basket of stocks, so your risk is very well diversified. It is not only the simplest way to invest, it also yields very decent returns. I'll repeat it again so you can go and Google and find out more about it, okay? Dollar cost average into a low cost index fund. Personally, I buy into VOO, which is a very low cost S&P 500 index fund. You can feel free to go and check it out as well. Alright, so that's it for today's video. If you don't remember anything, just make sure you remember these two things. 1. Start planning for your retirement. The earlier you start, the easier it is. 2. To get started, set aside an amount from your monthly income and dollar cost average it into a low cost index fund. That's it folks. If you find this video useful, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and also make sure you are subscribed to this channel for any personal finance or income generation related video content in future. I'll talk to you soon.